Some television moments become memorable not just because of who is involved, but because they reveal something deeper about character, growth, and human connection. This was one of those rare occasions. Jenna Hager stepped into a moment that blended history, journalism, and personal identity in a way that immediately captured public attention. What made it stand out was not only the presence of influential figures, but also the way she guided the conversations with warmth, professionalism, and authenticity. Viewers saw more than an interview series. They witnessed a reflection of how experience, empathy, and communication skills can come together to create meaningful television. The moment also highlighted her evolution over the years, showing how she has grown into a confident and respected voice in broadcasting while continuing to remain grounded and relatable. It became a reminder that behind every public success story lies years of persistence, learning, and quiet dedication, a historic opportunity that captured attention. The core of the moment centered around a rare and significant series of conversations featuring 4 former American presidents. Bringing together such influential leaders in one coordinated broadcast was an extraordinary achievement that immediately drew widespread interest. Each conversation offered reflections on leadership, responsibility, and the evolving identity of the nation. What made the experience especially compelling was the way Jenna approached each dialogue with balance and composure. Rather than treating the moment as a spectacle, she focused on meaningful engagement, allowing each guest space to share insights and reflections. Her approach ensured that the conversations felt personal, rather than distant or overly formal. For audiences, it was not just about hearing from historical figures, but about witnessing thoughtful dialogue that encouraged reflection. The success of these interviews demonstrated her ability to handle high-pressure situations while maintaining clarity, warmth, and a natural conversational flow that made complex topics feel accessible and human. Growing beyond a famous last name. Jenna's career has often been viewed through the lens of her family background, which inevitably brings public attention and expectation. However, her professional journey has consistently shown a determination to build her own identity. Rather than relying on inherited visibility, she worked steadily to establish credibility through consistent performance and genuine connection with audiences. Over time, viewers came to recognize her not for her surname, but for her communication style, emotional intelligence, and ability to engage authentically. This evolution reflects a broader narrative of personal growth, where identity is shaped by effort and experience rather than assumption. The recent interviews further reinforced this progression, showing her operating with confidence and authority in a highly visible role. It was a clear example of how dedication and persistence can transform perception over time. Her journey illustrates that while background may influence opportunity, long-term respect is earned through consistency, skill, and authenticity in one's chosen field. Balancing journalism and family. One of the most compelling aspects of the event was the unique position Jenna held as both a journalist and a daughter. This dual perspective added emotional depth to the conversation while also presenting a professional challenge. Navigating personal relationships in a public setting requires careful balance, and she managed it with composure and respect. The exchanges felt natural, reflecting the everyday dynamics that exist within families while still maintaining the integrity of a formal interview. This blend of personal familiarity and professional responsibility created a moment that felt both relatable and significant. Audiences connected with the authenticity of these interactions because they mirrored real-life family relationships, where humor, affection, and honesty often coexist. The ability to maintain professionalism without losing emotional honesty demonstrated her strength as a communicator. It also showed that meaningful journalism can include humanity without compromising credibility, allowing viewers to engage with the content on both an intellectual and emotional level. The power of authenticity. A defining quality that continues to shape Jenna's public presence is her authenticity. In an environment where public appearances are often carefully managed, her natural communication style stands out. Throughout the event, she demonstrated a willingness to be genuine, whether in serious discussions or lighter, unscripted moments. This openness allows audiences to see her as approachable and real, rather than distant or overly polished. Authenticity builds trust, and trust is what sustains long-term connection with viewers. Her reactions, expressions, and responses felt unforced, which contributed to the sense that audiences were witnessing real conversations rather than staged performances. This quality has become one of her strongest attributes, helping her maintain relevance and connection across diverse audiences. It also reinforces the idea that sincerity often resonates more deeply than perfection. By embracing her natural personality, she has created a space where viewers feel comfortable engaging with both the content and the person presenting it. Navigating a period of professional change. The past year has brought significant transitions in Jenna's professional environment, requiring adaptability and resilience. Changes in long-standing collaborations and evolving responsibilities created moments of adjustment that required both emotional and professional strength. Rather than resisting these changes, she embraced them as opportunities for growth and reinvention. This approach allowed her to remain steady while exploring new dynamics and approaches within her work. Transitions in any career can bring uncertainty, but they also open doors to fresh perspectives and renewed purpose. Her ability to navigate these shifts with composure demonstrated flexibility and maturity. Audiences observed her maintaining consistency while adapting to new formats and partnerships, which reinforced her reliability as a public figure. This period of change ultimately highlighted her capacity to evolve without losing her core identity. It showed that growth often involves stepping into unfamiliar spaces while trusting one's experience and instincts to guide the way forward. Conversations that carried meaning. Beyond their historic significance, the interviews themselves carried thoughtful and reflective themes. Topics such as leadership, national identity, responsibility, and unity were explored through meaningful dialogue rather than surface-level commentary. Each conversation encouraged reflection on the values and principles that shape society. Instead of focusing on division or controversy, the discussions emphasized shared experiences and long-term vision. This approach created an atmosphere of respect and understanding, allowing viewers to engage with complex ideas in a more accessible way. Jenna's role in facilitating these conversations was central to their success. Her ability to guide dialogue with clarity and curiosity helped ensure that each exchange remained engaging and balanced. The result was a series of conversations that felt informative and thought-provoking without being overwhelming. They offered audiences an opportunity to reflect on broader questions, while still connecting with the human stories behind the public figures involved. A passion beyond television. In addition to her work on screen, Jenna has also invested significant energy into creative and literary initiatives. Her interest in storytelling extends beyond broadcasting and into projects that support writers and encourage diverse voices. These efforts reflect a commitment to amplifying perspectives that might otherwise remain unheard. Through reading initiatives and publishing work, she has helped introduce audiences to new ideas and narratives, strengthening her influence in the literary world. This dimension of her career highlights a broader passion for communication in all its forms. It shows that her interests are not limited to interviews or television appearances, but extend into shaping conversations through literature and storytelling. Her involvement in these projects demonstrates a desire to create meaningful impact beyond entertainment. By supporting emerging voices, she contributes to a wider cultural dialogue that values creativity, inclusion, and expression, a future shaped by growth and opportunity. The recent success of these interviews marks an important milestone in Jenna's evolving career. It represents both recognition of her past work and anticipation of future possibilities. Her ability to manage high-profile conversations while maintaining authenticity suggests continued growth in her professional journey. With expanding projects and evolving roles, she appears positioned for further opportunities that build on her strengths in communication and storytelling. This moment serves as evidence of how sustained effort and adaptability can lead to meaningful achievements over time. It also reinforces the idea that careers in media are shaped not only by visibility, but by trust, credibility, and connection. As she moves forward, her combination of experience, empathy, and communication skills will likely continue to define her path. The future holds potential for further impact, driven by her ability to engage audiences with sincerity and purpose.